The topic today we are come to discuss spiritual mentorship. Do we even need spiritual person in our life? Do we need spiritual father or spiritual mother in our life? That is why today we have a special person in our midst to take us through the importance of spiritual mentorship. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned whilst I go for a short commercial break. We will be back. When we come back, I'll introduce the prophet of the house who is going to take us through this particular topic. My name is Akusia Dako. Welcome once again. If you just on your television, today we are discussing spiritual mentorship. When we talk of spiritual mentorship, who is your spiritual father or your spiritual mother? Is it very important in human life for us to get that? Today we have the prophet of the house to take us through. He's very popular. Everybody knows him. I used to call him olden days prophet. That is how I used to call him because he's a very wonderful man. Today we have Prophet Osei Kutopsos in the house, founder of World Pillars International Church. He is going to take us through today for us to know the importance of a spiritual mentorship. Daddy, you're welcome.
Thank you, and also would like to thank your viewers for having me today, wherever you are watching us around the world. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for today. When we invite you, you left everything to join us. Right?
For that's how it.
Today we are going to discuss about what spiritual mentorship is. It's something we've been here. Usually we don't hear spiritual mentorship, but we do hear of spiritual father, spiritual mother. Today we say spiritual mentorship, spiritual father, spiritual mother. Is it very important as a human? We are alive, we are not dead. Is it very important to us?
Yes, it's very important to everyone on this earth to have a mentor or a guide, the one who is supposed to guide your lives both physically and then spiritually. As our basic education levels, we have teachers upon teachers, the one that will guide you class 1, 2, 3 to your college. We have everyone at a certain level that is waiting for you to, get help. So how can one think I'm okay now? I can help myself now. If a president needs ministers to help him, needs the presidential staffs and other staffs to help, the military, the police, everyone have to help and support. The citizens have to support the president in order for him or her to achieve his goals and other things on this earth. So there should be no day in your life you think I'm okay, I don't need any help from anybody again. So who are you going to need? You have to get someone who will occupy some certain spaces. These spaces are basically spiritual ones which no one fits into them, which you have to get a mentor to, or a father to be in those shoes for you.
Okay. So we know of the importance of it. Let's look at what exactly, when we talk of spiritual father, who are they?
When we talk of spiritual father or spiritual mother, they are fathers that occupy a space as your father in the spiritual realms.
Okay.
As physically, you have biological fathers. Their name is on you. You don't have the power to occupy the space that your father's name have to, appear, or your grandfather or your grandmother's name. I don't know who they might name you after. You cannot just call any name that you wish to, call yourself on this earth. You have to get a name that will occupy to show the identity of where you belong or a family that you come from. That is the reason why you have to get spiritual father who can occupy that space for you, to identify the particular protection on you, the one that protects you spiritually.
Okay.
In all things. You can be a businessman, you can be an evangelist, you can be a prophet, you can be whoever you are on this earth. If you will operate under a normal human being, I don't have a problem with those people. But if you want to do extraordinary things, you have to get such people to occupy those spaces for you. They will be the ladder for you to, climb up to wherever you want to be on this earth.
Okay, so which people are the ordinary people we just spoke about?
There are, I named it that way because I think there are people, they are okay with every situation that they find themselves on this earth. They are okay because of what maybe their motivation speakers have said to them. They think, I've tried this, I've tried that, it's not yielding, so I'm okay with every situation. Any situation that comes my way, I like it that way. And that is who I would say they are normal people. But there are people that doesn't want to, accept defeat.
Okay.
When I try climbing, I'm not going. I have to, get someone who have the, idea of climbing up. I will go and then look for that person, and then take the advice from that person. That means the person has set himself to a certain point that he want to, liberate himself, everything, and then go up to do extraordinary things. To me, those people, I think they know what they are up to, and they know the people that can help you. I don't think you can give birth to a son or daughter and then just put him or her at the house and say, yeah, you register for that daughter or son one day at a junior high school level for him to go and then write the exams and then pass. Yes. It's not possible. You have to get teachers upon teachers on him, get books upon books for him to be learning, and then you have to go and then sit down and then to be taught. This is how it is. So if you know where you are going, then you have to seek or ask of those people who can occupy the spaces for you. Okay. Those who can help you on the way for you to achieve your goals.
Okay. Let's look at spiritual father, spiritual mother.
Okay.
The spirits in partaking on them,
yes.
on their life.
Yes.
Does it have any negative or positive aspects in human life? Taking someone as my spiritual daughter or spiritual son, does the father or mother spirit on him or her has any negative or positive part of the person's life?
I will answer you yes.
Okay.
When we are talking about impacting something to someone for the person to become your son or daughter. Example, as in the Bible, according to Numbers chapter 11, verses number 16 to 17, the Lord asked Moses to gather 70 elders. And then the Lord, will come down and then take part of his spirit. Not God's spirit, Moses' spirit. When we talk about Moses' spirit, it's not one, it's not two, it's not three. Okay. Billions upon billions. Okay. Humanity can contain over 1 billion spirits. Yes. Already we are occupied by a lot of spirits already. So when we are doing impartation, it is like taking some of those spirits, giving them assignment purposely for this or that, to go and then serve that person and do the works that it was doing or partaking in you. So taking that spirit out of someone to somebody, if the spirit is not a good spirit, then that effect might be on that same person. If the spirit is also a good spirit, then the person will also encounter a good spirit. That is something about impartation. So if you got imparted by a man of God, and the man of God like drinking wine and other alcoholic and other things, you will also attract those things. If you have the impartation and the person like doing this or that, which is negative part of it, you have to pray and then block those ways. Either that you also get into those things because you are with his spirit. Okay. You are with his spirit. These things that I think we have to look deep into it. A spiritual father is always needed to sons and daughters who want to achieve great things on this earth. If I give you, or I put this phone down here right now, and I ask you, where is my phone? You go directly to where the left I put the phone, because you saw me putting it there. You won't go to other place to look for it. When we were coming here, you used a car, or you drove here because someone was able to make a car. The person thought it wise. One day someone would need a car from her house to the station to come and do an interview. The person cannot walk again, so I have to help the person with my idea. Now, when you were coming, you used a lorry road. You drove on the road. This road was made by someone. Was constructed by someone. Maybe our forefathers, maybe the first president, maybe the second or third. They constructed these roads down for you. So if you think you can construct your own road from your house to the studio, you have to think of meeting trees on the way, meeting rivers on the way, meeting hills and then mountains on the way. When will you get here on time to do the interview? So always we have to get where someone has cleared a path, then we also use that path to limit our suffering, to minimize our suffering, and then also increase in spiritual realms upwards wherever we want to go. If you are doing business and the business is not going up, there might be someone who has done that business before. He has failed before, he has succeeded before, and he is the right person to show you the way you can succeed on life. So if you ask me, I will answer you. If there is a negative thing on that same man, you will also encounter those negativities in your life.
Okay. Can anyone be our spiritual mentor?
Can anyone be our spiritual mentor? I would say no.
Rich people qualify to do that?
Yes, we have fathers, and we have sons, and we have daughters, and we have mothers. Only a father qualifies to be a father to a son.
Only a father qualified to be a father to a son.
To a son.
Just a son.
Or daughter.
Or daughter. Okay.
Now, there were people who were trained to be fathers.
Okay.
And we have people who also so trained to be sons. Okay. A typical example was Joshua and then Moses. The Bible said it on somewhere Numbers 27, verse number 18 to 21, that the Lord spoke to Moses that there is a spirit in Joshua, which is a Holy Spirit in Joshua. Bring him, put your hand on him, and then also allow him to minister as your servant in the house of God. So when there came a time that Moses have to do impartation to 70 people, I thought it wise. It should be Joshua, the first nominee, over there to get that impartation. But Moses did not mention the name of Joshua. But he rather went in for elders and anointed them. Joshua too did not say anything until the day Moses was not around. Then the Lord appeared to Joshua. Joshua chapter 1 verse 1 going. Joshua did not speak with God before until his father Moses was dead. Now he qualified to be a father. Those other people were given family upon families. But Joshua was raised to manage a whole country. Okay. So I don't know the type of training your father gave to you or gave to you. Is it to manage a family, or is it to manage a whole nation? If it is a whole nation, then I might say you have the ability to be a father to someone, because at the end of the day, you have these two experiences. Okay. How to manage a nation and then how to manage a family. But if you were trained to manage a family, then you cannot get the power to show someone the way to manage a whole nation.
See.
So this is how it is. We have those that have the capability to manage a nation, and we have those who can manage only a church,
Okay.
or only a family group, only a small group. So I would say, look at what you want, and then look deep into what you want, and the one that you think he or she have it. If you want to see visions and you think your pastor cannot give prophecies or cannot see visions, then there is no need for you to, tell him to mentor you, because at the end of the day, he doesn't have what you want. You see how it is? You are suffering. You are still not, you are still, under the 10 or 15 people. You haven't gotten your own breakthrough financially. And your father is also suffering in this area. How possible would that person anoint you? It will never be possible on this earth. So look deep into whoever you want the person to be your father. Ask yourself, does my father have what I want? If yes, then I will say submit yourself to that father. So in shortly, nobody can, let an evangelist raise evangelists. Let apostles raise apostles. Let prophets also raise prophets. So just check whatever you want. Ask yourself who have it. Then you go to the person. That will be the right channel to do that.
Okay. Let's look at the role of a spiritual father in one's life destiny.
Okay.
Yeah. What are their role? Apart from backing me in spiritual aspects, or maybe perhaps is there anything else that is their work, or just going to bed, remember you to pray for you, that is all?
No, that's not all. A spiritual father controls your everything. You may have time, maybe if you are a man of God, you have time to be praying for people always. You want the breakthrough of other people. But who is also praying for you, for your breakthrough? Now, there are things that we encounter on this earth. When we are born onto this earth, there are a lot of things that maybe we did not get it on this earth. Some were born into riches, and some were born into poverty. So you yourself, you cannot break that poverty unless you upload those poverty to your father.
Okay.
He has the breakthrough already. Whenever you go to him, he will lay his hand on you, and that poverty will break down, because he knows what it takes to break it down. So physically, spiritually, and every aspect of life, he can occupy that place. If you doesn't have anyone in your life that tells you to stop and you obey, at times you will go and then you will encounter a lot of challenges that everyone will be looking at you. At least everyone on this earth have to get someone in your life that you respect his or her words. And let's submit to that person, for that person to control your life, and then also have an impact into your life.
Okay. You've given us the knowledge of a spiritual father.
Okay.
The roles he needs to play in one's
Yes.
life. Let's look at the son or daughter. What is your role as someone taking you as a spiritual son and a spiritual daughter? What do you need to do as the son or daughter?
Your role, there was something that happened in the Bible, 2 Kings chapter 3, verse 9 to 12. There was a time that three kings came together to fight, and there were no way out to their enemies. And one of them asked, doesn't we have any prophet here to consult him? And one soldier told one of the king that we have Elisha down here. He was the one that poured water onto the hands of Elijah. And Jehoshaphat the king said, oh, he is qualified to be a prophet. Go and then call him. And when they brought him, he was able to tell them whatever they needed to know. Now, as a spiritual son or a spiritual daughter, you have a role to play under your father. Firstly, you have to learn to obey, to submit yourself. Submit yourself to your master. Submit yourself to your master. And also minister. You are a minister to your father.
Okay. You're
supposed to be a minister to your father. That is why Joshua was ministering to Moses. That is why Elisha, although Elisha was older than Elijah, but he submitted to Elijah and was ministering to Elijah, serving him every kind of thing that he will request from him. Now, when we talk about he was the one that washed the hands of Elijah, meaning every father might have his or her weak point, or a mother his or her weak point on this earth. Your father might have something that maybe have been bringing him down. And if you are a son in this case, you have to minister, you have to cover that particular area in his life. For no one to hear of your father, no one to, know any bad thing about your father, because you are supposed to cover that shameful act or a shameful life of your father. Elisha poured water on the hands of Elijah, meaning his hands were not clean.
Okay.
When I entered here, my hands are not dirty. You won't tell me, Father, I want to wash your hands for you. No. But if my hands are dirty, you have to, do what? It is your duty to wash my hands for me. So there are some sons and then some pastors who are ministering under their fathers. Whenever they see something around their father, they'll jump to the internet. My father is like this, my father is like that, my father is like... Your father is even blessed.
Okay.
Upon you saying this on your father, he is still going up.
Okay.
And you are not thinking. You think you will destroy your father for someone to believe you on this earth. It is a lie. Because God is not God of the sons. God is God of the fathers. Okay. That is why sons doesn't qualify to talk to God. Only fathers qualify to talk to God. But you talk to God when you are raised to be a father. There is one thing that a father have on this earth, which every son need that thing from that father, or his or her father or mother on this earth, which is the covenant. Covenant. There are covenant upon covenant, but we have a covenant that fathers have with their God. God have a covenant with Abraham, have with Noah, a lot of pastors on this earth, Isaac, Jacob, and other staffs. Psalm 105 verse 8 and 9 will tell you openly. Let me get to that place and then let's read it. Okay. As the viewers follow, I think you will be quite blessed today by these words. Psalm 105. And I'm reading from verse 8. He had remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. Now, this was a commandment to 1,000 generations. Which covenant he made with Abraham. This particular covenant we are talking about was made with Abraham. And his oath unto Isaac. When it got to Isaac 10, the Lord made it as an oath to Isaac. And confirmed the same unto Jacob. When Jacob was called Jacob, he confirmed the oath and the covenant to Jacob that you have no, you don't need to go and suffer. Your father have a line Just join that line and then you qualify to be blessed. Now, for a law to Israel, when Jacob's name was changed to Israel, the Lord made that particular covenant to be a law to Israel for an everlasting covenant. This should be everlasting covenant. Now, when you go to the town now, we have high tension cables, which are for the government. High tension cables. Some will be conduit wiring and other things. Some will be flying on the air and other things. Other ones will be under the grounds or whenever or wherever you locate yourself with this high tension cable. These are cables you cannot go and enter because they are hot.
Okay.
But we also have low tension cables and we also have meters on our buildings, which that meter, although it's for the government, but the owner of the house also have the power to that meter. If you build a house now and your light, your meter is not yet ready, you have no option than going to see the one who have a meter, and then he will connect it to you. Doesn't mean when after connecting you just go and then sleep.
Yes.
To be a son doesn't mean you just go and complain to your father and then go and then sleep. Now, this is the rule. After connection, every month you have to pay the dues. Every month, in order to keep your light shining. If you refuse to pay a month or two,
you come back
they will just cut you from it. You will be disconnected from your father simply because you just go there to complain.
Exactly.
Now, the reason why you don't have light in the house means you don't have a meter. If you don't have a meter, connect from someone's meter in order to get light in your house. This is something practically and then spiritual practicals,
okay,
which I'm trying to explain to someone and then viewers now to understand me. There is a covenant which God made with Abraham to the pastors. It is a law now. So if you are not part of that covenant, you are operating under a closed heaven.
okay.
The heavens are closed before you. You can raise today, tomorrow, and then you go down. You can perform this month well, next month well. Oh, within short time, then everything is collapsed. But you can see some great men of God, they are always going up, 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 up. You ask yourself, what mistake have I done? You haven't done any mistake. You haven't done anything wrong. But just because you are operating under a closed heaven. The day that the heaven will open a bit for you is the day that you enjoy.
Okay.
When it is closed again, then everything is off.
Enjoyment is back to this.
Now, these are the high tension cable, which is God covenant with Abraham. Before we also have pastors and then prophets under the sun, which we have them within our territories, which we have to connect our light to, from their own meters. You have to enjoy from your father's covenant with God. Sons doesn't have the capacity to have that covenant unless you are being introduced by a father. So, the day that you go to your father, he or she will love you and then present you to the Lord so that you can be connected to the Lord. So any day that your father is not around, then you qualify to become a father.
Okay.
But if you think, Jesus died and everything, we are free to do everything. That is the reason why you continue suffering.
New Testament.
Because we have covenant upon covenant, which you have to join. Now, we have the priesthood covenant,
okay,
which is Abraham one. That's the high tension. Okay. Before we have other prophetic ones. Example, I want to see visions. What is the name of that Holy Spirit that brings visions?
Okay.
I am a prophet. I want to see visions every day. Then you ask, who is responsible for the visions spiritually at the heavens? When you get that, the name of that Holy Spirit, then you have to strike a deal. You have to have a covenant with that Spirit. That I want you to reveal visions to me until I die on this earth.
Okay.
You have a personal covenant with this Spirit. That is when you will be seeing morning, evening, afternoon, and everywhere going. Either that, if you don't have this, if you don't have any idea on this, you can see today, and even a month, you are not able to see anything again. How can a prophet be depending on your dreams? How? How will you depend on your dream? How will you depend on how will you depend on word of wisdom? How will a prophet depend on knowledge? No. You see, so as a prophet, we have a lot of small covenants.
Okay.
Maybe I want to have a covenant with God. When I lay my hands on anybody that is sick, the person should get healed.
Okay.
There should be a covenant to a particular spirit that is being assigned by the Almighty God for him to be a healer. You have to get hold of that spirit. Then you sign that day with that person. I'm not talking of you going to, lay your head on a pulpit or an altar or prayer grounds and open your mouth and say, God, I have a covenant with you. We don't do it that way. We don't do it. We have a way, a special way of doing that. Mm-hmm. And you cannot do that for yourself unless your father does this for you.
That is where the problem is.
Yes. That is the role of a father. He can join you. He can lead you for you to get a particular power that you desire to get on this earth. As someone like me, we have a lot of things that I don't even, although I have them, but I don't even mind to, use them, or I don't even enjoy using them. You see how it is? But there is someone who is suffering now, praying morning, evening, afternoon for that thing, but he is not getting it. If you pray about something 1, 2, or 3 times and it's not coming, my friend, notice that it is not up there. It is down here. You have to. It is just down here. Get the person that have that thing, and then you go to the person for him to help you.
But Papa, looking at what you are saying, that looking at the angel who is carrying that particular thing. So if I need about 1,000 things, I need to consult 1,000 angels.
Yes.
Can one carry all this?
I don't think it's needed for a prophet or someone to contact. To go in for maybe even 50 powers. No, it's not possible. Just choose a little of it, maybe 7 or 8 or 5 or 3.
Then that is it.
That is it. We don't do those things like that.
We'll be going for a short commercial break, but before we go, let's look at this.
Okay.
You've let us know about the role of a father and the role of a son. Right now, what does one take to take someone as a spiritual father? We are going for a short commercial break. Then when we come back, the prophet will answer this question to us. I know a lot of you out there want to know, what does one take to be a spiritual daughter or a spiritual son? If you just on your TV, we are live on Hot TV. Go to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's Hot TV Ghana. And today's topic is spiritual mentorship. Stay right. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are live on Hot TV. Today the topic on board is spiritual mentorship, and we have the father of the house, Prophet Osei Kweku Tepsis. Papa, you are welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
The topic was, what does one take to be someone's spiritual daughter or spiritual son?
All right. I will say this on my angle.
Okay.
and not the angle of someone.
Someone.
Yes. It takes you to, go in for the type of father that you want to have. And then you explain to that father, this is what I want you to do for me. Then every country, every house, every territory have his or her own rules and regulations. Then the person might tell you, maybe do this or that, or maybe I'm going to pray about it, maybe this or that and that. Then you take it from that angle. I think that is the best way for you to explain, this is what I want you to do for me. Then from there, you can pick everything from that angle.
Papa, someone is watching us now. The person will
But let me be clear about this. It's not only pastors who would need someone to be your spiritual father or something like that. Everyone can go in for. Everyone can go to a certain father that he or she thinks this person can help me with my issues. This person have the power to speak over my problems. For then, before you can go in for that person, you can be a businessman, you can be a celebrity, an artist, maybe a footballer, any angle, anywhere. You have to maybe explain this to the person. This is what I want you to do for me. But don't, go in to say such words to that person, even in and empty-handed.
Okay.
You have to, know that you are going to a father that you speak to God on your behalf. So know how to go to a father. Yes.
Papa, someone needs you as a spiritual father or spiritual mentor. What does he need to do to meet prophets or say who puts up as a spiritual father?
There are circumstances, as you know, we have message upon messages and then encounters upon encounters. Me myself, is very difficult to even attend to people because of my time and then how busy I am at times. But I will give a number.
Okay.
My secretary's number to that person. You just have to WhatsApp that line and then explain whatever you need to that person, and then
to the secretary.
If needed, then they will forward you to me.
Okay.
Then I know.
You need to pass through a lot of examinations before you get to the Papa himself.
Not a lot of examination. You know how my phones are.
But Papa, you are trying.
You know the number of messages I have on.
You do have the time
600,000 WhatsApps a day. How possible would this one be?
One person.
Yes. So at times we have to impact and then also let some of the people around us talk to such people on our behalf. And then those that are needed to forward them to us to know how to handle them. Then we also know how to, handle them our way.
I think the time is fast spent, and then I think the rest of the time we will leave to Papa to give us his last word for the people out there. Today is due to the people outside. Papa, give us English.
Yes.
Papa has given the English today.
A lot of people are complaining on this channel that we will need the English version. As we're starting now, this is the part 1 of mentorship. Exactly. I promise to bring you the deep ones, and then how to, see to certain problems in our life, how to quench some problems, and then also we're also going to give you some update on the visions and then dreams and business boosting, and then traveling mercies, also papers and other stuff, how to boost your everything. So you have to stay tuned any day, any time. when we come your way, you can be able to get access to us. My final words are, don't walk on this earth as if there is nothing. There is something. There is something. I'm telling you, trace those that are around you who are successful people. You notice that they are under a certain coverings. They are under a certain lodge. They are under a certain religions. They are under a certain category of people. You will think, oh, this person doesn't have anything. That is the reason why you cannot reach where he or she is. Because you decide to take and capture what you are seeing.
Okay.
It's like staying at your house and then looking at the mountain and say, this mountain, the way to the mountain is just short. It's just here. Trying to climb the mountain will also be a long journey for you. You don't know. Let us notice. For you to go to somewhere, for you to be a traveler, for you to be mentioned, nominated among the great ones, then you have to consult those who are already great, those who are blessed, those who have the capacity, those who have the ability to enrich life, to change the negative words that was being spoken, or you yourself spoken to yourself. Get hold of those that have those powers to speak life over your everything, to shine wherever there is darkness in your life. Just contact this number here, under here now. You talk personally to the secretary. If needed, they will forward you to me. Then I will call you personally and then pray with you. If anything is there that I have to handle, I have to do it on my way, I have to do it for you in all ways, and you will be blessed.
All right. Thank you very much, Prophet. God richly bless you. Hi, viewers. We thank you all. Here comes the end of the program. We thank everybody. First, thanksgiving goes to the Almighty, and then the Prophet who lead us today to give us the knowledge when it's come to a spiritual father or a spiritual mother. God richly bless you all. And then bless my producer, Anita, wherever you are. God richly bless you. And Sadek, we thank you all, everybody. God richly bless you. The name is Akusia Dakwa.
Okuku sepo munye, so nipa neja isaman.